my bet is that in 2026, in the back half of 2026, we're going to see mature agentic use cases that are widely adopted and widely understood as being very good fit for agentic tools. And there's going to be a well-educated market with open checkbooks wanting to automate that away. Because if you can take everything that is currently blocking, let's say, sales teams from completing their work, if you can take all of the basic hurdles that are currently in their way within legal, and you can hand that over to an agent to take the latency from days to seconds, the ROI almost doesn't have to be measured. Yeah. You just need to ask one salesperson, what did it take for you to close that deal? I don't know. I just sent everything over via email and I got everything I needed back. And then the counterparty spoke to an agent. And it's just, the deal got done. And we will move there towards the end of next year. Why? Because the opportunity is so enormous, way bigger than assistive technologies. How much do the business know about what legal are doing with Legora right now?
Very little.
Basically nothing, which is why we're also very sure, I would say at Flank, that we're going to see some of the biggest legal AI vendors grab this opportunity. So we're going to see this market mature very, very, very quickly.
Yeah. And which brings you, I guess, to the final question, which is, or not a final one, but it goes back to the adoption, this measure of return of investment. Right? It's very, very hard right now, with assistive technology, to really measure the return of investment, because it's very hard to measure individual productivity, especially in an in-house team. Maybe law firms, because you have time keeping and all that stuff, but in-house it's very, very tough. With an agent, it's very straightforward, because you know exactly the kind of volume of work that goes in, how long it takes, how much it cost you, versus how long it took previously and how much it cost you previously with people.
Yeah, 100%. And the demand for anyone procuring any kind of AI to show ROI is only going to increase. Yeah. There's this illusion that products don't have to show ROI sometimes in certain domains because the ROI is quote unquote obvious. It's an obviously useful tool. Take Slack, for example. And we can take for granted that the ROI is obvious and they never had to prove that ROI. And if you actually rewind to the early days of Slack selling into enterprises, now they still struggle to sell into enterprises for good reason. But you take someone like Slack, Salesforce, whatever, these tools that seem an obvious purchase. The reason we now take that for granted is because they worked so hard to demonstrate ROI. And now it's so obvious because of that hard work. That's why. Mm-hmm. It's not that they skipped that. ROI, the demonstrable ROI with enterprise procurement is table stakes, you can't avoid it. And the reality is it is way easier to procure a tool and then scale your usage of a tool if that ROI from day one is tracked, is easy to show your CFO or your finance department and your procurement team. Or if your procurement team are using it, even better.